I am in Clemson, South Carolina, in the US. I work as an assistant professor of industrial engineering at Clemson University. And I've been doing Sahaja Yoga since 2008. And I notice many of you, many of the names that I see here are familiar. So welcome back, and welcome to those who are here for the first time. So we'll be starting in a few minutes. So if you're able to get your Footsoak setup ready, if you haven't already, please go ahead. And in the meantime, if you have any questions that you've been wanting to ask, perhaps relating to your own practice, regular practice, or any of the techniques that we've talked about previously, or just other questions, experiences that you're...
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Jeffrey.
Feel like the devil.
So if you're all ready, we will begin today's meditation by raising the energy, the Kundalini, 3 times. So if you're doing this for the first time, I'll just show you what we do. We use a few hand motions, few gestures to channelize the energies within us. First, we raise that sacred energy, the Kundalini, from the base of the spine to the top of the head, like this. So the left hand just comes up and the right hand wraps around it like this. Like that. And we bring it up and we tie a knot over the head to establish that energy over the 7th center. We'll do this a second time same thing, and tie 2 knots. And a third time, tie 3 knots. Next, we balance ourselves by bringing the energy of the left side to the right and the right to the left. So only the right hand moves to move both the energies. So we'll start near the left hip and raise the energy of the left, arch it over your head, bring it down all the way to the right, and then just retrace that path, moving the right to the left. Now, this was at the level of the first energy center. There are 6 more, so we'll do this 6 more times. So we haven't put our feet in the water yet. If you have already, it's okay. Don't worry. Let's bring the right hand a couple of inches over the head, like this, and see how you're feeling at this time. And you can do the same with the left hand. See how you're feeling. And bring your hand back down. So at this point, the Kundalini should already be active in us. We should be feeling at least, or there is already some flow happening. You may not even feel it, but happening through your head and through your hands. So we're going to channelize that energy to the water and the salt by making these clockwise motions. Just rotate your hand like this over the water. Keep your attention at the top of your head and allow these vibrations flowing through your hand to vibrate the water and the salt. We can ask for the qualities of the ocean to be represented here in this Footsoak, so that we may be cleansed, we may be cleared out. Now we can put both the feet inside. To keep our palms open on our lap. And let's take a few deep breaths. Inhale deeply, and then pause for a couple of seconds. Hold your breath, and then let it out slowly. And then hold for a second or two, and then again breathe in slowly. So we'll breathe in this manner for a little bit. Now let's put the right hand towards the earth. And let's feel a connection with Mother Earth. Even if your hand is not touching the floor, that's okay. We just feel connected with Mother Earth. And we ask her to please remove, please absorb any heaviness on the left energy channel. The left side is the side of the past, the side of the subconscious, emotions, desires. So anything from the past that prevents us from being in the present, from being joyful, from growing higher, we surrender it to Mother Earth. We don't think about anything specifically. We just surrender to the power of Mother Earth and her intelligence to clear us out of anything that is unwanted. Let me be free of all my attachments, conditionings, anything that I'm clinging on to, the past. Please make me free. And make me innocent. Innocence is a quality that we're all born with. It never goes away. It is there in us. So let us acknowledge it. Let us cherish that innocence and the ability to feel that childlike joy because of that innocence. We'll bring our hand back. We'll raise the left hand towards the sky, just bending the arm at the elbow. And here we invoke the power of the sky, the ether, the air to cool down, to take away all the excess heat on the right energy channel. So the right channel is the side of all conscious activity, thinking, planning, and it can get caught up. It can become heavy when we overthink, overplan, or when we are identified with our actions and our thoughts. So we let go of that identification and we let go of the need to worry about the future. Let my attention be cool down. Let it be in the present. Let it be subtle. Let me be free of all worries and tensions. And let me be in reality. And we can bring a hand down. You can put both the hands towards Mother Earth and ask her, Mother, please take away any remaining negativity, any imbalances from my chakras and from my energy channels. Let me be able to go deeper in my awareness. And we can bring our hand back on our lap. We can place the right hand just above the belly button on the stomach and slowly move the hand clockwise. So from the top to the left, to below the belly button, to the right, and put our attention on the region known as the void, which encompasses the second and the third chakras. This is where the principle of mastery is established in us, where we become our own guru. So we can ask that energy, the Kundalini, Mother, please enlighten my guru principle. Please remove any falsehood or any other blemish in my guru principle. And take me across this ocean of illusion into reality. So that I can establish my state of self-realization. We can bring our hand back. We can keep our attention at the top of our head. And allow the water and the salt to absorb to cleanse us through our feet. When the chakras become free of any imbalances, any heaviness. More and more strands of the Kundalini can pass through. And you will start to feel cooler at the top of your head and be able to go deeper into meditation. You're less perturbed by your thoughts. And now we can conclude the foot soak by taking out our feet one by one and rinsing them off over the water. So once you take both your feet out, we can go and dispose the water in the toilet and come back and settle down in another minute or two. So we'll start again. All right, so hopefully we will come back and settle down. So the focus of today's meditation is the sixth energy center known as the Agnya chakra. The Agnya chakra is the center here behind the forehead. Now it is a very, very subtle center. If you recall from the diagram of the subtle system, you might recall that there is a place where the left and the right energy channels crisscross, where the left goes to the right side of the head and the right energy channel comes up and goes to the left side of the head. And the right channel goes to, it occupies the front and the left side and manifests as the ego in us. And the left energy channel goes to the back and the right side of the head and manifests as what's known as the superego, which is basically all our identifications with the past and our conditionings and so on. Now, both of these institutions in us, the ego and superego, they're like balloon-like structures that can inflate and deflate. They kind of grow bigger when, let's say, the ego is inflated, as we say. And the best way to open the center and make space for the Kundalini to pass through is by letting go, by forgiving, by not holding on to the past, by not being too identified with the self, right? At least the ego self. And any of these will help open the Agnya chakra. And there are different techniques to work on the front and the back of the Agnya chakra. So we will go through some of these in very brief today and see how they work. So let's first listen to a short speech, an excerpt from a speech by Sri Mataji, where she describes the main qualities of the Agnya chakra and how it relates to the state of thoughtless awareness. This was at a public program, so there are one or two questions from the audience, so she responds to those questions as well. So let's have a listen.
So here what happens that when the Kundalini rises, when she goes to the Agnya chakra, which represents, as you say, the third eye, whatever you may call it, it is between the optic chiasma and it looks after the pituitary and the pineal body. And as a result, we have developed two institutions called ego and superego. The ego is the one which tells us, I have done it, I am doing this. Both these institutions are sucked in by the enlightenment of this center. And that's how the thing opens out. And all your karmas are sucked in. So there's no problem of karmas. Only human beings think that they are doing karmas. Animals don't. They have no sense of sin or anything. They are completely under the bondage of God. So in Sanskrit they are called as pashu, means under the bondage. But we are the ones who have got freedom. And that's why we think that we have done this and we have done that. And we should not do this, we should not do that. But when the Kundalini rises and she awakens the center, then both these things are sucked in. And when they are sucked in, then you do not do any karmas anymore. You just are in a karma. You do everything. I mean, I travel, you know, such a lot, and I have a family, and everything is there. But it's just happening. I'm just seeing it. I'm not doing anything as such. So when you are also awakened, there's no obligation. It's just happening. It is so. It's here where we should understand this center is bestowed upon by the great life of Christ. Christ is there. And they said that he died for our sins, died for our karmas, is a fact. Because when he is awakened, these two institutions are pulled inside, and you get your Kundalini out there. It opens out, and this bone, which has been calcified, opens out, and the Kundalini pierces through. And this is what it is that he died for our sins. But still the theory is extended that we must suffer. Why should we suffer? He has suffered for us already, and is already written by Thomas, who was traveling to India via Egypt, where he wrote the treatise, and he said that why should we suffer? Christ has already suffered for us, and he's talked everything about Sahaja Yoga. He said it is an experience of self-realization and everything. And that book now is out in England. After 48 years, they could decode the whole thing, which was found about 48 years back in Egypt, and is out now, and is beautiful. Gnostics is the name of the book, but is not so much appreciated by some of the people because it challenges the theories of sufferings and confessions and all this nonsense. Me or you? You cannot awaken yourself. You see, you have to have one enlightened candle to enlighten another candle. This candle, which is not enlightened, cannot enlighten itself. But there's no obligation. But you can correct. Once it is awakened, you can correct it, you can develop it. First, only few hair-like strands of this energy come up and open the fontanelle bone area. And then this flow of Ru starts flowing on you, and it relaxes more of the centers. So more of these strands start coming up. So you can develop it at your will by understanding it. But you cannot enlighten yourself by yourself.
When she meditates, she has great difficulty in maintaining total awareness. Why is this difficult?
Because it's not Sahaja meditation. All other meditations are artificial. You are in meditation when you are in such. Unless and until Kundalini is awakened and you are one with the divine power, still thinking all the time. How can you stop thinking? There is one thought that rises and another thought that falls off. Again another thought comes up and it falls off. It goes on like this, and we are dancing on the cusp of these thoughts. In between the thought, there's a little space called as Vilamba, is the present. Either we are in the past or in the future. But that is only possible when the Kundalini comes up. Then these thoughts become more lean, and there's a bigger space left, and you remain in thoughtless awareness. And that is how it works out.
So, as we just learned, in order for us to be in that state of thoughtless awareness, to be in the present, we need to be able to let go so that the Kundalini can rise and give us that connection. Take us beyond this gross identification of me, I, and all my conditionings, and take us beyond into our connection with reality. So we don't do that with any effort of our own. but we make way for the Kundalini by letting go of and taking out those obstacles that come in the way. So this is the last center, the penultimate stage before that connection is achieved in the seventh center. So as she has taught us, the way we open the center is by placing the right hand across the forehead. So that's what we can all do right now. Let's place the right hand across the forehead and simply say, I forgive. I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. Simply forgive. Do not think of anyone in particular. We trust ourselves in our ability to forgive. And you can feel that pressure coming off if you're feeling any pressure in your head. By forgiving, we don't actually do anything to the other person, but we become free. So I forgive myself. You can bring the hand down. And for the back Agnya, same thing, we'll place the right hand behind the head and just bend the head backwards slightly. And here we can ask the divine or the all-pervading energy, please forgive me if I have made any mistake, knowingly or unknowingly. Please forgive me. Please forgive my past. You can bring the hand down. We can also just sort of press our head on both sides, on the left and the right, like this. You can put the left hand on the right side of the head, just press gently and say, I'm not this ego. I am the pure spirit. Here we surrender to the higher power, the all-pervading reality, and say, you are the reality. You are the truth. Let me be able to be one with you. Let me dissolve. You can bring the left hand down. Bring the right hand and just push the right side of the head. Press gently. Put some pressure and say, I am the pure spirit. I am not the conditionings from my past. I am free of any clinging, any attachments. Which is all superficial. I am that deeper absolute reality. I am one with reality. Can bring the hand down. Now, for those of you who've been to these sessions previously, you might recall we have talked about using the fire element using the candle. So the candle treatment is very helpful in clearing the left side. The light from the candle basically enlightens the subconscious. So the left channel represents the subconscious. So we run the candle flame along the entire left channel, and it comes up to the right side of the head like this, a little bit to the back, and then down again, the same way. So this is one way to clear the entire left channel. But both of these channels culminate in this sixth center here. So to specifically work on the back Agnya, so as I said earlier, the left channel goes to the right and the back side of the head, and it represents all our conditionings, attachments. I should do this, has to be done a certain way, and those kinds of conditionings that prevent us from going deeper into reality. So the way to clear that, as Sri Mataji has taught us, is to use the candle as well. So we can look at the red dot on her forehead through the flame, through the candle flame, like that, and keep our attention at the top of the head. This helps clear the Agnya chakra, especially the back. And you can also just give some oscillating movements like this on the right side of the head, because this chakra goes to the right and the back, like I said. So this helps clear the back Agnya. And if you have someone else who is meditating with you, you can also have them hold the candle behind your head, while you look at Sri Mataji's photograph and absorb the vibrations that come. So these are very effective techniques to clear the back Agnya. Sometimes, if we are having a headache, migraines, or even insomnia, lack of sleep, it could be because of an imbalance in the Agnya chakra. It could be because of the front or the back. And depending on which one we're feeling, we can treat it accordingly. So if we're feeling, if it's because of the front Agnya or the ego, then you will typically feel some tingling or some pull or some heat on the ring finger on the right hand, because it represents the right channel. For that, the best method is to just say I forgive by placing your right hand on the front of the head. If it's still there, you can also put a little ice pack on the left side of the head, because the right channel goes to the left. You can keep it there for a minute or so and take it out. Now, if you're feeling any tingling or heat or a pull on the left ring finger, that indicates a pressure or an imbalance on the right side of the head. That is the back Agnya going from the right to the back. So for that, the candle treatment, like I mentioned, is very helpful. So depending on how you're feeling, which fingers you're feeling, you can respond to any imbalance in that chakra accordingly. So we'll watch another short clip in which Sri Mataji is working with a group of seekers, meditators, and helping them clear their Agnya chakra using the candle. So she's actually holding the candle and letting them look at her through the flame. So let's watch the video And keep our attention at the top of the head.
That's how it. Laziness is first. Sri Krishna was against laziness. I mean, anywhere he got a chance, he talked against laziness. Alasya. Now watch me. On the photograph, you can do the same. Better now. Tonight we have to keep awake. Big problem. But don't sleep formally here, all right? Informally you can. Better? Put your eyes. Thrice. Again.
Flora, ljuvligt smör.
All right. So if you have a candle with you today, you can certainly use it to try this technique. If you don't, that's totally fine. You can also simply look at Sri Mataji's bindi, the red dot on the forehead. So if you can, yeah. So let's just meditate upon that dot for a few minutes. So we can keep our eyes open. By meditating upon her Agnya, her bindi, we're allowing our own Agnya to get cleared out. So just surrender any thought, doubt, any pressure, even if it's physical, to that point. If there are any thoughts, just let go. Do not get identified with any thought. It is not the reality. You do not react to it. You just remain surrendered in the state of being a detached witness. Close our eyes for a second. Bring the right hand to the top of the head and just push down gently the center of the head with the center of the palm. Stretch your fingers outward and slowly move your hand round around the scalp clockwise. And appeal to that energy. O Mother Kundalini, you reside in the sacrum bone at the base of the spine. Please rise and enlighten my Sahasrara chakra, the seventh center. Please give me that connection. Please make me one. Please make my consciousness one with the universal unconscious, the all-pervading reality, the divine. let the drop become one with the ocean. Can bring a hand down and continue meditating, keeping your attention at the top of the head. But if you feel like, you can also keep it open and continue to meditate looking at Shri Mataji's bindi. We can bring the right hand a few inches over the head again. See how we're feeling. Try the same with the left hand. You can bring the hand down. Notice how you're feeling on your hands. See if you're able to feel a subtle flow through your palms. So we will conclude today's meditation session by once again raising the Kundalini 3 times and balancing ourselves with 7 bandhans. So thank you all for joining today. And I hope you had a good meditation. And also hopefully this has helped you become a little bit more sensitive to the vibrations. If you are able to feel any sensations on your hands. We're also learning how to respond to those and continue to balance ourselves at the level of each chakra. And ultimately, the goal is to be in that state of thoughtless awareness and be in reality. So hopefully this is helping you all along in that direction. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sudeep.
Thank you, Sudeep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, if there's any questions, please feel free to go ahead and ask. And have a wonderful week, all of you.